class? Today, we're gonna do, you guys have, I've already, we've already looked at the warm-up and you guys have already done it, so, we did it as, while we were waiting for class to start. And what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go over our warm-up, okay? Then after I get through with my warm-up, we'll pull up our objective and our agenda for today. And, then we'll, break into small groups and do centers, and, we'll do that today. And I have your, breakdown for your groups. So, let's go ahead and look. I've written them down, that you guys have already worked them. I've written them down so I can work them with you. So, let's look at problem 1. Anyone want to, go ahead and Justice, go ahead and help me.
2 times 10 plus 4 times 1 plus 7 times 1 4 times 100 5 times 1,000.
Now, all I did is my computer doesn't do fractions, so I've written them like you normally see them here, so we can work it out. So go ahead and finish it out for me, Justice. Tell me what we need to do. Go ahead.
You can draw a paper icon and put 2 in the tank, 4 in the 1, then push up the
Okay, you want to do that way?
put 7 in the tank, 4 in the 100, and put 5 in the 1,000. And you get 24 and 745,000.
Okay, so what do we do with the 2? The 2 times 10 is what?
2 times 10 is 20.
Okay, plus 4 would be what?
24.
All right, so we have 24. And we have a decimal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have what? 7 tenths?
Yes, sir.
And 4 hundredths? And what, 5 thousandths? All right, so Justice, would you go ahead and read that for me, please, ma'am?
24 and 745,000.
All right, good job. So does everybody get that? Everybody understand what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's look at number 2. And you raised your hand, so let's do that one.
2 and 15 hundredths compared to 2 and 16 hundredths.
Okay, so if we were to, I didn't give myself a lot of room here, but 2 and 15 and then 2, so we can line them up, line our decimals up. Which number is it going to be, larger than, smaller than, or equal to? What is it going to be? And which one is it?
2 and 16.
Okay, so the 2's are equal, the 1's are equal, but 6 is greater than 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the alligator eats the larger number. Is that what we do it? Is that how we do it? So 6 is greater than 5. So, did everybody get that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to help me with number 3?
534 times 67.
Okay. So, all right, let's do, I'll tell you what, let's do this as a collective. So, 7 times 4,
28.
put our 8 down, carry our 2.
21.
All right. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 2.
23.
Put our 3 down, carry our 2. 7 times 5 plus 2. Okay, so we cross out our 7 there. Now we got, put down a 0. All right. Then 6 times 4. Carry our 2, right? 6 times 3 plus 2. Put a 0 down, carry our 2. 6 times 5 plus 2, 32. Good job. Now we add, okay, 8 plus 0. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 0, 3 plus 2 is 5. Bring down our 3. So where do we put our comma?
Behind between the 5 and the 7.
Okay, so Shania, read that number for me, please, ma'am.
35,760.
want to continue, go ahead and do the next problem for me, please, ma'am.
71 divided by 5,234.
Okay, so we know that 71 won't go into 52, right?
71 belongs to 543 7 times.
All right, so we'll do 7. So 7 times 1 is 7, right?
If you go into 71 8 times, only 568.
So it'd be too long.
419.
Okay. So we did 7. So 7 times 1 is 7, right? 7 times 7 is what? 49. Okay, so now we subtract. We know we can't subtract 7 from 3, right? So we make that what? Make
13.
Make him 13.
And the 2 comes.
The 2 will be a what?
A 1.
1. All right, and then we'll have to borrow again. Well, let's I'm getting ahead of myself. So what's 13 minus 7? 6. Okay, now what's 11 minus 9?
2.
All right, 2. So we borrowed from the 2, right?
Yes,
So that makes that 5 or 4, right?
4.
So 4 minus 4 is 0, right? See, 4 minus 4 is 0? Okay, so now what do we do? Bring down our 4.
And 71 times.
Okay, now, so, let's like, we know that our first, whatever we multiply times 1 is gonna be that number. So what times 7 can get us close to 26?
3.
There we go, good job, guys. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3, and 7 times 3 is 21, right? All right, 3 minus 4 is 1, 6 minus 1, 5, and 2 minus 2 is 0, right? Okay, so will 71 go into 51? No. So we can have a remainder of 51, right? It is smaller than what we're dividing by. So now we have to do what? We have to check it, all right? So 73 times 71. 3 times 1,
3.
7 times 1,
11.
bring down to 0.
21.
7 times 3 is 21, carry our 2.
49 plus 2 is
51, right?
And
Okay, so 7 plus 3,
8.
7 plus 1 is 7, then we have 51, right? Then we have to add our,
8. 8.
whoop,
7 plus 1.
excuse me, thank you guys, thank you for correcting me. All right, so we have 51 is our remainder, right? 3 plus 1, 8 plus 5, carry our 1, bring down our 5. So we get 5,234. All right. Anyone want to help me with the next problem? Number 5? Okay, we'll let you do this one by yourself. Go ahead. What's the first thing we need to do?
9 and 4.
Number 5, what's the first thing we need to do?
Write out division problem.
Okay, so, yeah, all right. We write it out as a division problem, so we have 9 and 43 hundredths divided by 24 hundredths. So what's the first thing we need to do?
Multiply 24 times.
What will we do, guys?
Move
Move our decimal 2 times to make it a whole number, right?
Yes, sir.
Move it 2 times. Okay, so now we have 943 divided by 24. Okay? So what did you guys get for our first number?
I got 72. I got 3. So 20.
Okay, so we start out with 3. 24 is going to 94, right? You said, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
All right, let's see, 3. 3 times 4 is 12, right? Carry our 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Is that what you got? 72? All right, so 4 minus 2 is 2. And then 9 minus 7 is...
Let's see how many times can
24
go to
24 won't go into 22, right? So we bring down our 3. There we go, bring down our 3.
We go to 9 times.
Okay, So you said going in 9 times? Okay. I'm gonna trust you and let's see. Let's see 9. 9 times 4, 36. Put out the other 3 up there. 9 times 2 is 18, 19, 20, 21. Is that what everybody got? 216?
Yep.
Okay. So, we know that we can't subtract 6 from 3, right? Make it a 13. So we borrow from our 2 to make it a 1. Okay, so what's 12 minus 6? I mean, excuse me, 13 minus 6. Alright, that's 7. So we have a remainder of 7, right? Because 24 won't go into 7, right? So have a remainder of 7. Let's check it. Let's check that. That's 39 times 24, right? Do what now? 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. 9 times 4 is what? 36? 3 times 4? Plus 3? Do what now? 15? Is that what you said? And then we add a 0, right? 9 times 2 is 18. 6 plus 1 is 7, right? Yeah. 6 plus 0 is 6. 8 plus 5 is 13. Thank you. Carry our 1. 7, 8, 9. So now we add our remainder of 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry our 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 9 plus 0 is 9. So we do have our everything worked out on that one. So let's look at our next problems. Somebody want to volunteer to read this one for me? Somebody I hadn't heard from? Go ahead.
At the end of their 3-day vacation, the farmers traveled a total of 530 miles. On the 3rd day, they drove 75 miles. On the 2nd day, they drove 320 miles. How many miles did they drive on the first day? You say total.
So how many miles did they drive on the first day? So
530 miles. Oh.
So what will we do? So what do we what we're subtracting? Okay, so what do we do?
320 minus 75. You put 20 plus 75
Okay, so let's add 320 plus 75, right? See what we get. 320 and 75. That's 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 2 is 9. And bring down your 3. So that's 395. Okay, and then they went 530 miles on the 530 miles. And we subtract 395, right? Okay, so we borrow 10 minus 5 is what? Okay, so we borrow from the 3, make that a 2. So we have to, that's 12, so we borrow from our 5, make it a 4. What's 12 minus 9?
3. 1.
And 4 minus 3 is 1. Does everybody see where I'm at right here? I know it's kind of congested a little bit, but everybody see that our answer is on the first day they traveled how many miles? 135 miles. They'd be in a lot of trouble if I went that fast. All right, let's look at number 7. You want to help me with number 7? Okay, go ahead, Cherry. What do we do?
It's subtracting.
Okay. Okay, so what's the first thing we need to do?
Multiply your 2 denominators.
Okay, so 7 times 6 is what? 7 times 6, right? It would be 42, right? 42 would be our denominator. Okay, so we multiply bottom, I'm sorry, I got it too far down.
This one here, what is subtracting?
It's subtracting.
I know what
Okay.
answer, Mr. Williams.
Alright, so seven, we multiply the bottom times seven, right? So 7 times 6 is 42, so 7 times 1 is 7, right? Okay, so now we do the top, right? We did that times the bottom times 7, so we do the top times 6, right? So 7 times 6 is 42, so what's what's 6 times 3?
18.
18.
Ooh, 25.
Okay, so now we're subtracting, so what's 4 minus 2? Our number, our 2, our whole number 2.
211.
Okay, and what's 18 minus 7?
11.
11. Alright, can everybody see that? Am I down too far?
Okay. She said your handwriting.
It's small, my handwriting is small for this piece of paper. Alright, so, did everybody get 2 and 11, 40 seconds?
You can do me.
Hmm?
You can do me.
Can I do what now?
She said you can do me.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Is that a little better? Does everybody can see now? You know, like I said, my handwriting's a little small, I apologize. Alright, so let's look at our last problem. And this is, what are we gonna be doing with this problem?
You gonna be last one.
Okay, so with that being said, what's the first thing we need to do?
6 minus 3.
6 minus 3 is what?
2. I mean 3.
3, so I'll just leave that in parentheses.
And then 6 plus 5 equals 11.
And then we have 2, and I'll keep that way. And 6 plus 5 is 11, you're right. Now what do we do?
11 times 2?
What's 11 times 2?
22. And then 3
What's 3 times 2?
6. They will be 28. And going
So our answer is what?
28.
28. Anybody have any problems with those? Alright. Now what we're gonna do, Miss Carey, how do we get the, that objective up here?
I had got 30.
Hmm?
I had got 30. The reason I got 30 because I had subtracted 6 minus 3, which got 3, and 6 plus 5 equals 11, and 14. 3 plus 11 equals 14. And then I add times 2. 14 times 3 equals 20. And I add plus 2. And I
So do you see where you went wrong on the?
no.
Okay.
I didn't use it like this.
Yes, thank you, Martin. Go ahead and read our objective.
By the end of the
Should I
lesson,
what we
students will have a better understanding of fifth grade math standards by using prior knowledge to solve fractions and deficit operation problems, and the teacher will evaluate the progress through the use of a warm-up fluency. Students work different stations during the class in the independent executive.
Okay. Since the agenda's a little small up here, I'll read it for you. It says, the first thing we're gonna do on our agenda is fluency. And, that says about 8 to 10 problems, and then we'll review it. So we've done step 1 and 2 already, haven't we? Alright, so, number 3 is, I'm gonna explain to you our expectations of the group, of our, centers. Number 4 is we're gonna divide into groups. Number 5 is move from centers at about 10 to 15 minutes each center. Then we'll debrief, we'll talk about what we did, and then we'll have an exit ticket. Okay. So I have everybody broken into 4 groups, and there'll be 2 groups that have 4 people, and then 1 group that has 3, and then another group that has 3. We have 4 centers, our center number 1 is gonna be, we're gonna use technology, we're gonna be on our, Chromebooks. And we'll be using, Shepherd software, you'll be on math games, and you'll either be on fractions or decimals. That'll be center 1. Center 2 will be with me, we'll be doing a small group, I'll have a worksheet that we'll work out with some problems, similar to the problems we've worked so far. Group 3, we'll have fraction bingo, and then group 4, we'll be doing decimals, where we're gonna be using playing cards, and we'll, I'm going to model how we're going to do station 3, or center 3 and center 4. Charity, would you bring me the bingo, please? Do what now? Okay, now, with bingo, you're gonna have 4 playing cards, and then you're gonna have a spinner. Thank you. And one person will be designated as a spinner, and you'll spin, flip the thing, our spinner. For example, this says light blue, and it says 5, 6, so you'll find a light blue color with 5, 6 on it, and you'll place it in your bingo card.
But if you don't have it in the
If you don't have it in your stack, then you just move on to the next, spin again and move on to your next card. And the one who gets either 4 across, down, or diagonally wins, just like regular, I don't know how many of you have played bingo, or your grandparents have played bingo, but it's the same principle as regular bingo. In our last station, Taylor, would you bring me those playing cards, please, man? Would you demonstrate with me? Would you help me show the model, please? You do a couple cards. And I'll take a couple cards. And this is going to be our decimal point. This thing right here. And what I'll do is, since there's only 2 of us playing right now, I'll put down 2 cards. And you put down 2 cards.
Zoom out.
Zoom out a little bit.
Zoom.
Zoom in, right? So we can see we've got 4 cards. And then I'll take this decimal point and I'll just pick a spot. Okay, now, I see 27 and 43 hundredths. That's the number I see. But now, what do you see?
74 and 72.
32 hundredths. So what we'll do is I'll take with my cards, I'll write down this in both standard and written form. So we'll write it as numbers, and then I'll write it down as the written form of the number for what I get, and he'll do the same thing with his. And you guys will pick 2 more cards, 4 more cards, however many people you have playing, and that's how we'll play our card decimal. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You said the cards that you would donate to this is what they do in the future.
Right, it'll be, I'll see a different number than you. So, if you will, let's see, what I want you to do, the way I'm gonna do, our movement is, in the first group, I'll set everybody up. Then, when I'm ready for you guys to move, I'll say the number 1. When I say 1, You guys clean up. You clean up here, you get your stuff, get everything straightened out. Give you about 30 seconds, then I'll say 2. That means that's the signal for everybody to get up, to stand up. When I say 3, everybody will move to their next station. Are there any questions? Okay, so I want, let's see, Jakari, Taylor, and Marion, I want you guys to go to the first table. Indeed, you start at center 1. I want, Jylen, Charity, and Jalexia, I want you to go to bingo. Alright, then I want, Justice, Damian, and Frank should come over small. Josiah, I can pronounce the name, I can't get them, I can't read where I wrote down. Go with small group. Some paper for you guys to do your writing.